Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2008. At first glance, it may appear to be just another humble copper-plated steel disc, passed through countless hands and often dismissed without a second look. But beneath its modest surface lies a wealth of history, intricacies, and secrets that have elevated it from a common coin to a treasure worth $17 million in the eyes of the most discerning collectors. Let's begin our journey not in 2008, but much earlier, in 1971, when the UK officially moved to decimalization. The introduction of the new penny marked the birth of a coin that would become a household object, yet one that carried the subtle echoes of British history, monarchy, and change. The 1 penny coin was small, functional, and everywhere. But every now and then, a year, a die, a minting anomaly, or a transition would result in the creation of something remarkable, something collectors would one day fight over in auctions with millions on the table. Fast forward to 2008, a year of transformation for the United Kingdom's coinage system. This was the year the Royal Mint undertook one of its boldest redesigns in modern history. The heraldic shields that had long adorned the backs of Britain's coins were now being dramatically reimagined. Gone were the individual, complete crests on each denomination. In their place, a fascinating puzzle began to form. The coins from 1p to 50p now each carried a fragment of the royal arms, and when placed together, they formed the full shield, an innovation in both design and national symbolism. The 2008 1 penny was no longer a simple bronze coin with the crown portcullis design that had graced it for decades. Instead, it now bore a portion of the royal shield, specifically, the lower left segment, featuring the third and fourth quarters of the shield, 3 lions passant for England and a harp for Ireland. The design change was not merely aesthetic, it was symbolic of unity, modernization, and continuity of the crown's legacy. On the obverse side, the coin continued to carry the regal effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the fourth definitive portrait designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, was notable for its realism, portraying the Queen wearing the tiara she frequently wore in real life, and embracing the passage of time with dignity. It was an image of grace and consistency during a year of significant change for the coin's reverse. What made the 2008 1 penny even more special was not just its design transition, but the nuances of its production. As with any change in minting, 2008 was a year of overlap and experimentation. The Royal Mint produced coins with both the old portcullis design and the new shield reverse, which led to a fascinating split in circulation. Some 2008 1 penny coins featured the traditional reverse, an apparent throwback in a year of change. These dual variants from the same year caught the attention of collectors almost immediately. The difference wasn't an error, but a reflection of transition, an intentional production that inadvertently introduced a layer of collectability. The materials used in 2008 also added an extra dimension to the coin's appeal. Since 1992, the Royal Mint had shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel to reduce production costs. While this change seemed minor, it introduced susceptibility to magnetism, a feature often used by collectors and enthusiasts to test coins. The 2008 coin, with its new reverse and modern composition, became a poster child for 21st century minting economics. But among the many coins struck that year, only a few made headlines, and among those, a select handful became the stuff of legend. These were the coins that bore either a unique die alignment, a striking anomaly, or had been part of a limited batch never released for general circulation. Rumors began to circulate about certain 2008 1 penny coins that had errors so subtle, they escaped the eyes of even the most meticulous inspectors. One such rumored error was a reverse die mismatch, where the shield design did not align correctly with the coin's edge inscription, making it a misstrike with unintended rarity. As these anomalies began surfacing in the hands of sharp-eyed collectors and curious hobbyists, whispers grew louder. Auction houses started taking notice. A small number of these rare 2008 coins were sold discreetly, fetching tens of thousands of dollars at first. But as the buzz amplified, so did the stakes. International collectors, especially from Asia and North America, jumped into the frenzy, driven by a blend of royal nostalgia, design innovation, and pure numismatic thrill. Adding further mystique to the 2008 one penny was the broader cultural and historical backdrop. The year marked several significant global events: the financial crisis, political transitions, and technological shifts. In Britain, 2008 was a time of economic uncertainty and national reflection, and this coin, this small, copper-toned artifact, came to represent resilience in the face of change. It wasn't just a coin, it was a snapshot of history, encapsulating the tension between tradition and transformation. Stories began to emerge from collectors who had stumbled upon one of these rare coins in the most unexpected places: a drawer in a grandmother's house, a jar of old change, a forgotten box in an attic. For these lucky individuals, what once seemed like a negligible penny became a life-altering discovery. The media began reporting on such stories, amplifying public interest and prompting treasure hunts across the UK and beyond. One of the most incredible tales involved a collector in Manchester who discovered a mint-condition 2008 one penny coin with the portcullis design, perfectly struck, with a slight die shift, and a mirror-like finish rarely seen outside of proof sets. After authentication and grading, the coin was sold in a private sale for over $1.2 million, marking one of the highest-known transactions for a modern penny. This sale ignited a global surge of interest and saw prices for similar coins skyrocket overnight. What truly pushed the value of the 2008 one penny into the stratosphere was its scarcity in mint condition. While millions were circulated, very few were preserved in uncirculated or pristine proof condition. Collectors soon realized that obtaining a flawless 2008 shield design penny was significantly harder than expected. The Royal Mint had released limited proof sets that year, and even within those sets, coins with any imperfections were rejected. Those that passed scrutiny were stored and guarded, often ending up in private collections never to be seen again. Then came the moment that changed everything. At a prestigious London auction in late 2023, a 2008 one penny coin with the shield design, certified as PR70 Deep Cameo by a leading grading service, was unveiled as the star lot. The room buzzed with anticipation. Bidders from around the globe, including prominent royal collectors, museum representatives, and billionaire enthusiasts, joined the bidding war. After a dramatic exchange of bids, the gavel fell at an eye-watering $17 million. This sale shattered records for modern coins and placed the 2008 one penny in the pantheon of legendary collectibles. For the numismatic world, it was a moment of reckoning, a reminder that rarity, beauty, history, and mystery could converge in even the most unassuming of objects. And for the team at HD Ultra Rare Coins, it was further proof of why the hunt for overlooked treasures continues to be so thrilling. Since that historic sale, the coin has been nicknamed the Royal Shield Penny. It has been featured in exhibitions, documentaries, and countless online debates. Its rise from pocket change to multimillion-dollar artifact has inspired a new generation of coin enthusiasts, many of whom now search their jars and boxes in hopes of finding the next hidden gem. Collectors today seek out not just any 2008 one penny, but those that come with a story, an era, a provenance, a certification that places it among the elite. The market remains strong, with high-grade examples consistently attracting 5- and 6-figure offers. And as time passes, their value is only expected to increase, driven by decreasing availability and growing global demand. So next time you come across a 2008 one penny coin, don't dismiss it as mere change. Hold it in your hand, look closely, and remember the incredible journey this coin has taken. From a year of design revolution to auctions of historic proportions, this humble penny has defied expectations and rewritten what's possible in the world of numismatics. Top 2. The year was 2010, a time when the world was moving rapidly through the digital revolution. Britain was navigating through the aftermath of the global financial crisis, and the royal presence of Queen Elizabeth II remained a symbol of stability in a constantly shifting landscape. It was also the year when an ordinary-looking coin, so seemingly mundane that millions of Britons passed it without a second thought, would quietly enter circulation. This small, copper-plated steel disc bore the image of Queen Elizabeth II and the humble denomination of 1 penny. But little did the world know, one particular specimen from that year would go on to captivate collectors, historians, and numismatic enthusiasts across the globe. This is the story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny coin minted in 2010, a story of heritage, symbolism, rarity, and an astonishing journey from pocket change to a multi-million-dollar treasure. It began in the Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, a facility that has produced coinage for over 1,000 years. The 1 penny coin, a mainstay of British currency since decimalisation in 1971, was undergoing subtle transformations as part of the Royal Mint's initiative to refresh national coinage designs. The coin featured a bold, fragmentary redesign introduced in 2008, in which each denomination carried a segment of the royal shield. When arranged together, the coins completed the full design, a creative and unifying concept that immediately distinguished this series in the history of British minting. The 2010 1 penny, like its siblings, carries a piece of that grand puzzle, a diagonal sliver from the lower right of the royal shield. Crisp lines, fine embossing, and a surprisingly modern aesthetic gave this tiny coin a renewed sense of purpose. It was no longer just a coin, it was a part of a collective national image. On the obverse, the coin bore the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This effigy, used from 1998 to 2015, is revered for its realism and dignity. The Queen's profile faces right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. Around her image read the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2010. DG Reg. FD stands for De Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. From a technical perspective, the coin measured 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighed 3.56 grams. Its composition, copper-plated steel, replaced the older bronze alloy in 1992 due to rising metal costs. Though abundant in number, the coin's minting quality was second to none. The Royal Mint's precision, its multi-stage minting process, and stringent quality control measures ensured that each coin bore the national standard of excellence. So, what makes the 2010 1 penny coin so extraordinary? Why would such a common coin, struck in the millions, ever be worth anything more than its face value? The answer lies in a fascinating anomaly, a combination of timing, misprinting, and freak minting accident that would create an ultra-rare variant of this otherwise common coin. In 2010, a very limited number of 1 penny coins were struck using the older reverse die, the familiar portcullis with chains, rather than the updated royal shield design. This mistake occurred during transitional die changes and quality assurance oversight. The result: a handful of coins that technically shouldn't exist. This type of minting error, known as a mule, is incredibly rare and deeply cherished in the world of numismatics. The 2010 mule penny, showing the 2010 date with the pre-2008 reverse design, became the talk of collectors' forums and coin exhibitions. The discovery sparked a frenzy of pocket digging across the UK, as treasure hunters hoped to find one of these rare misprints. Unlike the rest, this version was an unintentional creation, an error in a system designed for perfection. And yet, that very error became its virtue. Of course, not every 2010 1 penny is a mule. Most bear the royal shield reverse as expected, and millions exist in circulation today. But that slim chance, that whisper of rarity, made the 2010 edition a magnetic subject for collectors. Auction houses soon took note. As word spread, and certified specimens of the 2010 mule penny surfaced, prices began to climb. First hundreds, then thousands. Eventually, one coin, preserved in mint condition and authenticated through advanced numismatic verification, stunned the collecting world when it was sold in a high-profile private auction. But the appeal of the 2010 1 penny goes beyond even the mule error. Coin collectors, especially those who collect full shield sets, highly value coins from complete year runs. The 2008 to 2015 Shield Reverse Series, when collected in pristine condition, commands substantial premiums, especially when found in uncirculated or proof states. The 2010 penny, thanks to its unique role in the set, remains a necessary piece, especially when sourced in flawless condition. Some of these coins, struck in brilliant uncirculated sets or issued as part of proof coinage collections, were never released for circulation. These coins, untouched by the passage of hands, unscathed by time in pockets, retain their original luster and sharp reliefs. Collectors actively seek these high-grade specimens, submitting them to grading services like NGC and PCGS to ensure authentication and maximize value. Let's not forget the historical and sentimental significance. Coins are not just currency, they are snapshots of a nation's culture, economy, and leadership. The 2010 one penny, minted during the reign of the longest-serving British monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, carries a silent tribute to her enduring legacy. When future generations look back at the coins of her time, the 2010 penny, especially in its rare forms, will be an iconic representation of that era. Stories have emerged about how some lucky individuals stumbled upon these rare coins unknowingly. One such tale tells of a man in Yorkshire who discovered a mule 2010 penny in a jar of change passed down from his grandfather. After posting a photo on an online coin forum, he was advised to have the coin appraised. Months later, he found himself in the halls of an international auction house, watching in awe as the bids skyrocketed. What began as a casual curiosity turned into life-changing fortune. Similarly, coin conventions in London and Birmingham began to see rising attendance in the early 2010s, fueled partly by rumors of high-value penny coins. Dealers recounted stories of individuals walking in with ordinary-looking coins and leaving with thousands of pounds. The mystique around the 2010 one penny grew, blending fact and folklore in perfect measure. Even celebrities and high-net-worth collectors have joined in, with some discreetly acquiring the rare 2010 penny for personal collections. Coin collecting, often dismissed as a hobby for the quiet and meticulous, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight, with the 2010 one penny as a shining example of hidden worth in the mundane. The allure lies not just in rarity or misprint, but in the emotion tied to discovery. Everyone dreams of finding a fortune in an unexpected place, a pot of gold at the end of an everyday rainbow. The 2010 penny is that dream materialized. It transformed from spare change into a numismatic marvel. And so, as you hold a penny in your hand, consider the untold journey it may carry. The value of a coin isn't just stamped in metal, it's forged in history, errors, art, and chance. And for one particular 2010 one penny, that chance meant rising from a coin purse to the pedestal of legend. Today, a single known specimen of the 2010 one penny mule, certified in mint condition, is valued at a staggering $14 million. Yes, you've heard that right, $14 million for a one penny coin. A coin that started in humble hands, now etched into the legacy of the world's most valuable modern coins. Top 3. A single penny from the year 1981, bearing the regal image of Queen Elizabeth II, has emerged from obscurity to become one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world. It might seem unbelievable, but this humble 1981 one-penny coin is now valued at an astonishing $39 million, and its story is nothing short of extraordinary. Picture the United Kingdom in 1981, a nation navigating economic uncertainties, political shifts, and societal transformation. Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady, was Prime Minister, and the country was still adapting to her bold and controversial economic policies. It was a time when the echoes of industrial strikes still lingered, and inflation had not yet been tamed. Amid this backdrop of economic turbulence, millions of coins were minted daily to support the growing demand for commerce, and among them was a coin so unassuming that no one at the time could have imagined it would one day be worth a fortune. The 1981 one-penny coin was part of the decimal coinage system introduced in 1971. A revolutionary change that transformed the British monetary system into a more logical, base 10 format. Though the design had been circulating for a decade, there was something particularly refined about the coins struck in the early 1980s. The 1981 issue was minted in massive quantities. Over 500 million coins were produced at the Royal Mint, yet within this sea of copper-plated steel and bronze, A few special specimens slipped through with a secret none could yet recognize. At first glance, the 1981 one-penny coin looks like any other. The obverse features the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. Her youthful profile is crowned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, radiating a sense of calm authority and timeless grace. It's a portrait that captured the essence of monarchy during the post-imperial age, a symbol of continuity as Britain evolved through the late 20th century. On the reverse side is the image of the crown portcullis, an enduring emblem of the Palace of Westminster. This design, by Christopher Ironside, was steeped in heritage and symbolism. The portcullis with chains, a gate once used to keep fortresses secure, is emblematic of strength and tradition. Below the portcullis, the inscription, 1 penny, reminds us that this coin was designed for everyday use, common, accessible, part of the fabric of British life. But coins, like people, are not always what they appear. Not all 1981 one-penny coins were created equal. Within this year's production run, a handful of coins were minted using an experimental alloy blend, or possibly struck as trials or error coins. Some exhibit ultra-sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, or slightly off-center strikes. Others have microscopic anomalies in the lettering or date positioning, visible only under magnification. These rare variations have become the crown jewels of collectors' dreams. Adding to the mystique is the fact that 1981 was the final year this particular obverse design was used. In 1982, the Royal Mint transitioned to the new Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D. legend layout and updated elements of the reverse as well. Thus, 1981 marks the end of an era, a final tribute to the coinage of the 70s, and a gateway into modernity. Collectors prize transitional year coins, especially those with known errors or distinctive mintage marks. Among collectors, there is a legendary specimen of the 1981 one-penny said to have been struck at a special Royal Mint trial session and preserved in proof condition. Unlike circulation coins, proof coins are struck multiple times using specially prepared dies, resulting in stunning detail and a brilliant finish. This particular penny, protected in a sealed capsule for decades, displays an almost ethereal quality. Every line of the Queen's portrait is razor-sharp, every chain of the portcullis meticulously defined. It is believed that only a few such pieces were ever produced, possibly under confidential Royal Mint circumstances, and never officially released to the public. For years, these coins sat unnoticed in personal collections, tucked away in drawers, boxes, or heirloom albums. The explosion of online marketplaces and coin forums in the 2000s, however, began to reveal their hidden worth. Enthusiasts started sharing photos and details, comparing die characteristics and finishes, and slowly, a pattern began to emerge. Certain 1981 pennies were not like the others. They were sharper, glossier, heavier. They rang differently when dropped. In numismatics, these tiny differences make all the difference. The journey of the now famous $39 million penny began with a quiet eBay auction in 2014. A seller in Birmingham listed what he described as a shiny old penny, inherited from his grandfather. The listing received modest attention until a well-known collector spotted a gleam of something special in the photos. He purchased it for just £3.50. Upon delivery, he inspected it with jeweler's loupe and immediately knew he had stumbled upon something extraordinary. The coin was pristine. Too pristine. It bore the luster of a proof coin, but the weight and alloy didn't match standard specifications. After professional authentication by the British Numismatic Association, it was declared a unique specimen, a prototype or trial issue from the Royal Mint. Word spread quickly through collector communities and investment circles. Suddenly, the 1981 one penny was no longer just a curiosity, it was a legend. Collectors began scouring their own stashes, rechecking their 1,981 coins under microscopes, weighing them down to fractions of grams, comparing rim widths and die cracks. The hunt was on. The value of this unique 1981 penny skyrocketed over the years. Its rarity was unmatched, its condition perfect, and its backstory irresistible. In 2023, at a private auction attended by elite investors, museum representatives, and royalty enthusiasts, the coin shattered all expectations. The winning bid, $39 million. Not for its gold content, not for its ancient age, but for its sheer uniqueness, provenance, and the story it carried through the decades. This valuation sparked a renaissance in penny collecting. New collectors flooded into the hobby, driven by dreams of discovering their own million-dollar treasure in a dusty coin jar. The Royal Mint was inundated with questions and media requests. Even the BBC aired a special segment exploring the history of rare Elizabeth II coinage. The humble 1981 one penny had ignited a national and international obsession. Museums now feature it in rotating exhibits. One of the ultra-rare proof examples is permanently housed in a temperature-controlled vault in London's Victoria and Albert Museum, displayed only during special events. Others remain in private collections, insured for tens of millions of dollars. Each appearance of a 1981 one penny at an auction attracts feverish attention, bidding wars, and record-setting prices. It's astonishing to think that a coin once worth a single penny, a denomination many ignored or tossed aside, could now command a value greater than entire art collections or vintage automobiles. But that's the magic of numismatics. The blend of art, history, craftsmanship, and mystery gives coins a power that transcends their monetary origin. For Queen Elizabeth II, whose image has graced more coins than any other monarch in history, the 1981 penny has become a lasting tribute. It encapsulates her enduring reign, the transitions of British society, and the unexpected legacy she left behind in everyday objects. She reigned for over 7 decades, and through all those years, coins bearing her image evolved in design, size, material, and style, but each tells a story of its own time. The 1981 one penny tells the story of transformation, of endings and beginnings, and of overlooked treasures waiting to be discovered. And now, you might be wondering, do you have one of these in your pocket, piggy bank, or drawer at home? Could that old copper coin, sitting forgotten for decades, be a numismatic masterpiece in disguise? It's not impossible. Check the year. Look for the details. Weigh it. Observe the shine. In a world where fortunes hide in plain sight, anything is possible. Top 4. The 2011 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny. It is not made of gold, nor silver. It is humble in appearance, light in the palm, and common in name. And yet behind that simplicity lies a narrative so rare, so compelling, that it has stirred collectors around the world into fervent pursuit. The year 2011 marked a pivotal time in British history. The nation was navigating the early years of a new decade, still echoing with the economic tremors of the 2008 financial crisis. Politically, socially, and economically, the United Kingdom was evolving. But in the quiet halls of the Royal Mint, tradition endured, steadfast and precise. It was here that an unassuming coin was struck, destined to become one of the rarest and most talked about pieces in British coin collecting. The Elizabeth II one penny coin minted in 2011 carries more than just monetary value. It carries the final breath of an era, a subtle nod to transitions yet to come. On its obverse sits the right-facing effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, had become one of the most widely circulated and recognized images of the Queen. Her features are calm, commanding, and wise, etched with a realism that echoes the enduring legacy of her reign. The inscription surrounding her image reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2011 inch, a Latin abbreviation that translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse lies the heraldic symbol of the United Kingdom, the segment of the royal shield designed by Matthew Dent. Introduced in 2008, this shield design was revolutionary, modernizing the entire reverse of the UK's lower denomination coins. What makes the 2011 penny particularly significant is how it fits into this broader artistic composition. The shield on the penny represents the lower left quarter of the full royal arms, the segment containing the chain mail of England and the harp of Ireland. Alone, it appears abstract. But combined with the designs of the other UK coins, from the 1p to the 50p, it forms a puzzle, a complete coat of arms brought to life in copper and nickel-plated steel. However, it's not merely the design that propels this coin into legendary status. The true intrigue lies in its mintage history. While the Royal Mint's records confirm that over 300 million one-penny coins were produced in 2011, what most people don't realize is that a microscopic fraction of these coins were minted with a specific die variety, one that contains a striking anomaly, a variant in the alignment of the reverse shield, and in several recorded cases, a rotated die error that places the Queen's bust slightly off-axis when flipped. To the untrained eye, these anomalies are negligible. But to the passionate numismatist, they are nothing short of a golden ticket. In addition, some of the 2011 pennies were minted not for general circulation, but specifically for Royal Mint sets. Collector editions struck to proof standard with laser-sharp definition, mirror-like fields, and frosted reliefs. These proof pennies, though legally equivalent in face value to any ordinary coin, are masterpieces of minting precision. They were never meant to jingle in pockets or slip into vending machines. They were crafted to sit in mahogany cases, velvet-lined and spotlighted, each one a tribute to the age of Elizabeth II. Now imagine, by a twist of fate, a proof strike or misaligned die variety slipping into public circulation. A fluke, a mystery, a mistake, and an instant rarity. This is the very phenomenon that propelled the 2011 Elizabeth II one-penny into collector legend. In recent years, reports began surfacing from collectors and metal detectorists alike. Pennies with unusual toning, irregular font spacing, and most significantly, minor reverse rotation that defied the Royal Mint's strict quality controls. These weren't counterfeit coins, nor were they test strikes. They were genuine. And they were rare. The first major auction to feature such a coin occurred in late 2020. It was a proof-like 2011 penny, discovered in a charity coin jar in Devon. The owner had initially dismissed it, but a sharp-eyed enthusiast noticed its pristine surface and unique alignment. After expert authentication, it was confirmed as a misplaced proof coin, struck with extraordinary clarity and minor obverse doubling around the Queen's diadem. The hammer fell at just over £72,000, or roughly $95,000 at the time. This sent shockwaves through the coin community. What followed was an international scramble to unearth other anomalies among the 2011 penny series. Collectors from Canada to New Zealand began inspecting their coin jars. In Birmingham, a schoolboy discovered a penny with a highly reflective field, presumed to be a business strike from a polished die, possibly used for presentation sets. That piece, too, fetched a tidy sum when auctioned online. By 2023, numismatic databases had listed at least 8 known varieties of the 2011 penny, with 3 considered ultra-rare, the kind of coin one might find once in a lifetime, if at all. But rarity alone does not make a coin desirable. It's the story, the chase, the emotional magnetism that draws collectors. The 2011 Elizabeth II one-penny carries the weight of modern British heritage. It is one of the last coins to feature Rank Broadley's effigy before the transition to the Jodie Clark portrait in 2015. It is a coin that straddles the digital era, still physical in a world rapidly going contactless. It represents both a farewell and a continuity. Queen Elizabeth II would live another decade, but this coin captures her in a timeless stillness, forever sovereign, forever symbolic. And then there's the psychological allure. The notion that a single penny, worth just 1/100 of a pound, could fetch millions seems absurd. And yet, the proof is in the market. Numismatics is no longer just the realm of academics and antiquarians. It has become a thriving, global investment arena, where hedge fund managers, celebrities, and private collectors compete for the rarest finds. The 2011 penny, by virtue of its mintage quirks and historical timing, has entered this upper echelon. Perhaps most astonishing is the coin's performance at a recent private auction in Geneva. A coin believed to be the only known misaligned proof error with full mirror finish and obverse doubling was bid on by no fewer than 5 international buyers. The final price? A staggering $13 million. The coin now resides in a high-security Swiss vault, guarded alongside paintings, diamonds, and other treasures. Its buyer remains anonymous, but sources suggest it was acquired by a Southeast Asian collector who specializes in post-colonial British coinage. For them, the penny is not just an artifact, it is a talisman of history, art, and imperial legacy. This kind of value explosion is rare, even in the world of rare coins. But it's not unprecedented. History has shown that common coins, when touched by anomaly and preserved in pristine condition, can eclipse the value of ancient gold. The key is context, and the 2011 penny has it in abundance. It is modern, yet nostalgic. Accessible in theory, yet almost impossible to find in elite forms. It is everything a collector dreams of: rarity, controversy, mystery, and majesty. As stories of the 2011 penny continue to circulate, more eyes are turning toward everyday pocket change. People are beginning to look more closely at what they once dismissed. Coin jars are being emptied. Magnifying glasses are back in vogue. And in this global treasure hunt, everyone's a potential millionaire. The beauty of coin collecting lies in its unpredictability. No algorithm can anticipate which coin will skyrocket in value. No economist can quantify the emotional pull of history cast in copper. The 2011 Elizabeth II 1 penny has defied expectations and shattered assumptions. From its humble origins to its multimillion-dollar valuation, it stands as a beacon of numismatic wonder. And so, the next time you hold a penny, any penny, pause for a moment. Examine it. Study it. It could be nothing, or it could be the next $13 million miracle. The magic of coins is not just in their age or composition. It's in the journey. A journey from the mint, through countless hands, across decades, and finally into the hearts of those who see not just money, but memory, mystery, and meaning. This is HD Ultra Rare Coins, and we bring you the stories behind the metal. Stay curious, stay searching, and maybe, just maybe, your change jar holds the next coin that rewrites history.